Hello! Good evening, everyone.
Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of The Plight of Princes. Are we past 69 yet? It doesn't matter. If
We passed
once we're
69 a while ago, thankfully.
Okay, it doesn't matter anymore.
76.
76. Where last we left off, let's see. Do I want to make one of you fuckers do the recap? You know, it was only last week. Let's see. Blue, what happened last week?
It is me.
You too, Jesus.
It is me, Jesus. Okay. Let me open up my notes for the last session instead of the blank one I opened for today. So I have to re-scroll all the way down to the bottom again. Right. So the session started with Serenus in his new werewolf form, getting into a fight with Poe's new demonic form. So everybody's going through changes that they did not consent to. Wittick charges forward on Garm, noticing these two creatures that he didn't know what they were fighting, and identifying the werewolf. Goes for a moonbeam, because moonbeam is just the go-to answer for when you have a Lycan. And manages to hit both of them, quickly seeing that it's actually two of our party members, so then dispels the spell, and obviously everybody's like, the fuck? And their general response was, bitch, me too. What the fuck? So we just kind of carried on and didn't really question any of that because everybody was very tired and went to bed straight away. Poe did some stuff with the moon, which I'm not going to go over here, but that happened as well. In the morning, Serenus is visibly bigger and stronger. Their strength score has increased, so now they look like Jason Momoa even more. And then we hop on the back of the whale and head to Yatar, which is everybody's favourite place. And as we approach the gate, we can see that the guards are clearly enchanted. They are being forced to smile and also under the effect of Zone of Truth, and thus are forced to tell the truth. Poe uses the Grim Psychometry, and is able to see a sort of vision of the past of how a guard sneezed and dropped their smile and then immediately dropped dead, which is all awful. And Kika's detect magic is very used to it at this point, where it's just magic everywhere. So eventually we get in and we walk around the city. There is an awful smell because there are multiple dead people everywhere from dropping from this enchantment that everybody's under. Everybody is being forced to smile, including the children, which is awful. And there are rats and crows and other small critters roaming around that appear to not be afraid. Kika has a little look at one and notes that they are also enchanted, and points this out to the party as best she can. Then, as we come round a large building, we unfortunately see a very familiar face in the form of Harshnag, who is clearly feeble-minded and is chained to the ground to an adamantine spike. The chain itself is non-magical. There is a huge queue of people, which is looping around all the buildings and corners, just basically as far as you can see, queuing towards a large central building. And as we are taking this in, the guards start to forcibly cheer as a large red-skinned figure with horns and a mask begins to approach, which I think is where Das can take up.
That figure was just patrolling, didn't actually approach you guys in particular, but was just patrolling more than anything else.
Yeah, not approaching us in particular.
And the guards, wincing as they moved about, simply muttering to themselves that it's destiny, we must keep working. So then, I believe at this time as well, Serenus had a squirrel and was using it as a familiar, keeping a distance from everything going on, and with the party trying to observe from afar of anything they could see that's even slightly ahead of them.
Yes, that is correct.
And
I'm up on a roof, scouting.
as always. So to begin this session, let's go with a perception check from the party.
perceptions. Let's go. Fantastic.
Guidance yourself, Renata.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I'm muted.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Okay. Loyalty whispered theirs, and everyone else. Let's see. 20 mage armor. I just asked for a roll and just mage armor. Instant reaction.
Honestly, I would have done it as soon as we realized something was wrong with the tail.
You would have done that side. More than fine. Don't worry about that. Let's see. Yeah, one, you're definitely gonna have some fun with this, and I'll basically we'll go from progression, but Serenus will. Let's see who else. I'd say Serenus, Pox, Care, literally just Kika. Probably for Kika's betterment and loyalty. Will not see what's going on and get it pointed out to them more or less. There are those larger masked with horned figures. They're very much so like tieflings, with a dark red, almost purplish skin tone to them. Underneath, you can just see from like elements by the horn and by the helmet and the like as they move. They don't seem to be armed, and just in more or less standard like either leather or cloth. And wherever they seem to move, the effects of certain things, like say people have to, it's almost like as they approach, it's like an eye is being just like stared on them, and they smile harder, they wince that little bit more, or they obey a command, like they seem to be following directives around those ones just a little bit more solidly. They've got this long black hair that hangs past the mask and by the sides. And they just seem to be patrolling. There's only one of them that you see that's even remotely nearby. Plenty of guards still move about. And all in all, it seems to be just the primary thing that's going on is the constant movement of people towards the central manor that's in this place. I will say that on that incredibly high roll from both one in particular, because this situation has you on high alert, because this is not only something you cannot stand as a whole, but also there is so much going on here with magic. It is absurd. And also Runara, just from keeping an eye of it as well. You begin hearing that as that figure has passed and gone by people, or as it approaches someone, just you hear muttered breaths of, oh, it's a thug, it's a thug, it's a thug, it's a thug, it's a thug. Just mumbled underneath of it as it just stares before it moves past again, and they seem to just, quite literally, their entire body seem to just like untense, but they still have to keep that like sharp, just, you know, massive smile on their faces, but the muscles in the arms and the shoulders just lax whenever those things stop looking at them.
Oh no, I remember.
Welp. Now what?
I don't know what the best course of action. No, obviously we're going to kill this cunt, but I don't know the best way to go about that.
Yeah.
We have the moment we stop playing it casual, this whole city goes up in smoke.
Yes, that is the
So
main
it's like
problem. There's so many people here who can be hurt.
when we pull the trigger, we have to pull it finally, but working out when to pull it is the hard thing. Basically the question for the party is, do we try and save Harshnag before we try and go to the heart of this place, or not?
I think we need to be a bit cautious, because if we wake up a massive giant to just be like,
and he starts going, "What the hell's going on?" Everything kind of just, as you said,
Yeah,
does
that
go
is the
over
trigger.
time.
That's
Yeah,
it's
that's
just.
the thing.
Are we
Like,
going to pull
Yeah.
the trigger ourselves, or are we going to get Harshnag to do it?
I think we have to do it because if we go to the where the shit's gonna go down, the trigger there, we haven't got to fight our way there when we pull the trigger when by getting Harshnag.
mhm.
I
Carry on, Ollie. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think we need to get just a bit more information of exactly what's kind of going on, so we can at least have an idea of maybe what we've got up ahead before things start happening, because there could be something that's ahead, or that's been affecting Harshnag that we're not aware of, and that could cause a friend to turn into an enemy. And looking back,
I've
I,
already shot you once in the last 48 hours.
yeah, I've been shot in the last 48 hours, and you know, kind of looking around, and with how everything is, yeah, I don't want a giant to turn on us, and
Yeah.
he's not. I don't think we're gonna survive that. To be
No,
honest.
if Harshnag decides to deck us, we're dead.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that's a bigger
I
risk if
have-
we free him,
Um,
because if he's
Harsh-
chained up, then they're.
What does Frog
they're
want to say? Sorry.
Sorry.
Go on.
I have a potential ace up my sleeve that could apply in this situation. Could be incredibly bad, could be incredibly good. And I sent a message to Kay in private last session about this. In that I could, in fact, do an enthralling performance, which in turn, every person within I believe it's 60 feet. Okay, I sent you the message there because you've got it in writing in front of you. Will speak glowingly about the person who performed and any people involved. So, but this is risky because of the potential spells that are already cast. In that, would it invade potentially on that thought that the entirety of the people within that aura are currently suffering from?
That might be a good way to draw out the root of the issue, because they won't take kindly to it. And I imagine they would know pretty quickly.
It's a great way to distract people as well. So it could be a good way for us to initiate once we have done the scouting.
Now, the way I was thinking of playing this off was playing into that idea of the actual thought. As in, I'm hilariously, my brain went, what if I do Eric Idle's always look at the bright side of life in this situation?
Oof. Oof.
Instead of go, everything's fine. Just keep smiling, you know.
Well, if you do a performance like that, then maybe it will still, like, not slip under the radar. Like, it will get people's attention, but it will maybe help stick to the illusion that we're part of this at the moment. Maybe because, like, at the moment, like, we're flying under the radar because we've just got here. So if we if it, maybe not even all of us, but if like a couple of us are in this performance that is, you know, encouraging everyone to be happy and stuff, then that leans into it to make them think that we're part of it.
Another factor that we need to be aware of, however, is it's not just the people we need to be cautious of. All the animals, the crows and the rats, they are also watching like surveillance.
Yes.
So if we start doing stuff, even if we can win over the people or avoid the people, there is a lot of things watching us. Like a lot of things.
This is partly why I mean it's an idea, but it's incredibly risky to do it without proper information first.
Yes. So I think
Okay,
I think we're
so
all
we-
agreeing that information gathering is like what we kind of want to do
Yes,
for now.
yeah.
In which case,
I-
may I suggest we go to City Hall? Town Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will. I can't communicate with you in character in any way. So what Pox will do is this is the same instinct Pox has in character, and I will follow the queue on the rooftops invisible and see what I can find. But I will make sure I can still at least see the party.
Yes.
Understood.
It's very important that everybody sticks together on this one because the moment someone is unaccounted for, they could get got.
Well, that's interesting.
Das, I've got two questions for
Mhm.
Dale. Firstly, when we saw Harsnag, was Harsnag's axe anywhere nearby?
Neither of Harshnag's axes were visible.
Or
I will say, as you
I mean,
guys,
his humanoid slaying one.
yeah,
It's the one that I know about.
yeah, he has two, which he is often brandish, which is Gert's great axe and then the axe of Therm. Gert's great axe is the one which is very good against humans, and then the axe of Therm, which is the ice and slashing damage one, which is quite gnarly in and of itself as well.
Okay.
I will say, however, you haven't seen them yet, but I will give you something because as you guys are here with your high roll as well and with ones as well, you guys notice that essentially, that's the phrase. So quite close to where Harshnag was. I didn't allude to this previously, my apologies, but there was an hourglass with sand in it, and it was closer. It was on the side of it's running out of sand compared to if it was if it was like for an hour long, it would be closer to like less than half an hour left. Than it would be without. I'm not explaining that well. It's basically like as
I
if
get
there was
it.
a timer that was
There's
running
a
down.
timer sitting next to Harsnag or nearby Harsnag.
But as you guys are there and you are discussing, I fully imagine you are all like, if any of you are having this conversation in characters or any conversations in characters, you are doing it all under hushed breaths, making sure there isn't a fucking rat listening to you, and so on. But as you guys are there, eventually, a column of about 5 to 6 guards begin moving, and at the back of them are two of these figures. The one you saw earlier, essentially two identical duplicates of him. All of them, especially as these ones pass you, you notice that their left eye is like a goat's eye with like a bright blue coloring to the back of it. Like not bright blue, but like a ice white blue. I think would be a better way to describe it. And they move past you guys, and if you're anywhere near the courtyard still, to observe what's going on, I'd like a stealth check from anyone who's trying to watch what they're doing.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Think we know who that is.
Wait a sec.
I assumed that a lot of this conversation was happening out of character, by the way.
Oh yes, yes, most of it is, but
Yeah.
anything that you are saying or doing together, like, oh hey, heads up, the fucking rats.
I imagine some of it's coming in character.
Yeah.
Just because I think it was done before. One, I think you should have disadvantage on your ability checks. I know you didn't
Yes.
on that perception, but I don't know if that was a thing.
Oh, that would be correct, yeah, because you're still exhausted. So following up one, just all of your checks will all be at disadvantage.
Do I still
Yep,
I just
sorry about that.
really like the number 15 today.
Good, it's a good number.
15 is a
do I
magic
still-
number.
I don't think I have disadvantage on stealth anymore, do I? Breastplate, slightly disadvantage.
Pretty sure breastplate gives disadvantage.
I don't think so. I think it's the other stuff does, but breastplate doesn't. I'll double check. I'm not watching anyway.
Any stealth checks, anyone aside from Poe?
mean,
I'm not stealthy, so I'm probably not
I'm
going to
the
risk
one
it.
who makes the stealth
I
checks.
don't
Death.
want. We're in a very dangerous situation, and don't want to risk it.
no, I'm trying to stay out of sight. Somewhere else, trying to do my second thing. I'll ask you that in a second.
Could I do a check with my familiar that I have else? I know he's a head, but he
Yeah,
might
you
be
could
able...
have it basically like, oh hey, and kind of like you duck into an alleyway, which is difficult to do, not only because there's a great deal of you, but also like you just entire like, no, we're not even risking it, get out of dodge, and you go like between several sections of buildings and just hide for a bit. While you do that, the squirrel moves about, and Poe, you make your way rooftop to rooftop. But as those figures pass, both of the figures at the back, these larger, like 6'4" ish kind of brawny looking characters, each one has one of Harshnag's axes on their shoulder, like on their back strapped. But of course, shrunk down, which often implies that attunement has been done to them. Furthermore, Poe, you make your way. You hop across to the buildings and you observe them. As these guys approach Harshnag, you're on a rooftop, invisible with the ring on. As you're there, you're watching, you're kind of like leaning out again, benefiting from the fact that you're entirely invisible.
Yeah, and I've checked before on like layman people that they can't see me, so I imagine Pox is being a little bit more lax than she normally is.
That's where we get the explanation for the 5 being rolled there into a 10.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. As you're there, and the squirrel is there as well. What you see is that one of the figures approaches the adamantine spike that's been driven into the ground, and just grabbing it. Bear in mind, this is like a meter wide. Like this is like a very thick, wide, not meter, but like a very thick, broad, like nearly to a torso of a person thick adamantine spike that's been driven into the ground. Just grabs it to one side and lifts it up onto his shoulder. Just rips it out of the ground. And then begins pulling Harshnag like a dog. As that happens, Poe, you're watching that and you're like, oh fuck. Like, because again, this is something which, when it's pulled out of the ground, you realize it's probably like 2 or 3 foot deep. Like 2 foot deep into the ground, like a foot up. So it's nearly, like, not foot, meter. So it's fucking huge. He pulls it out. 2 meters high easily. And as he is, and turns, the other figure, you're staring at that one who did the feed. The other one is looking right at you. They are staring up at you from the ground, and the head just tilts slightly to the side. And Ollie, your connection to the squirrel instantly dissipates as the squirrel, which was right next to you, Poe, is immediately squelched. Not in a way of like dispelling, like Ollie, your vision like backlashes right into yourself and you fling back to yourself. Poe, that little squirrel next to you, it straight up just got as if something did like a minute gravitational little hole of just spinning, crushed into itself, and just dead. And after the squirrel gets squished, it then turns and leaves. You are very lucky he had disadvantage on that check because you are pseudo invisible.
Woo!
Because that was a natural 20, and the other one went up to a 14.
From that reaction, then I'm just gonna like kind of going back with the party, with a smile on my face, but
you were with the party, but there was this moment of whoa, like launch back.
yeah, and I just try and I'm gonna put a smile back on, even though Visonis is very just kind of like sweating a bit from that. It's just from the recoil, and he's just like, we problems. Trying to whisper to the party, problems.
As you're there, and Poe, this time you're not taking a chance. You do fully cover yourself up behind a chimney as they pass. And one of them is just pulling Harshnag like a giant dog on that chain.
If I follow them, will I lose sight of the party?
Eventually, they essentially have to pass by the party to make their distance across.
Then I'll keep following for now.
Okay. Party, do you plan to let that pass you, or are you going to try and follow?
What do you think, guys? I kind of feel like maybe we need to follow.
Are they gonna pass by where we're sort of to one
Where
side?
you're situated
Or
on, yes. It looks like they're taking Harshnag into town, and as he's being pulled,
no.
there are like roofs that are being like knocked to the side a bit because some of these spaces aren't built for someone Harshnag's size to physically walk down the hall, like the streets.
So we all mutually agreed that heading towards City Hall was going to be the best course of
Well,
action, right?
well, if we follow
We did
Harshnag,
before this happened.
they're going to be taking Harshnag to Destiny to reapply the Feeble Mind, probably.
Yeah, that
Because
timer
if
is
that-
likely for the spell to run out.
So we should follow them, because they're going to take us where we need to go.
Basically, yeah.
What I'm trying to determine here is, are those two goals one and the same? If they're taking Harshnag towards City Hall, then we're still on track for City Hall.
I mean, can we tell where they are going, or does it look like that? Is this
So-
a case of like it's in the same direction, so maybe they're going the same way, or are they literally going in the wrong direction?
They're potentially going in the same direction because essentially they're leading him down the way that there's the column of people in the direction the column of people are facing.
Okay.
Well, there
So-
you go.
Well, there you go. Then it's a moot point.
Yeah.
We want to go to City Hall and follow them, which is the same thing, I guess.
Shall we follow them? Done.
But we try to do it subtly.
While just after it kind of passes, with the kind of knowledge that I kind of learned from the scroll, I'm just gonna kind of like point to the like kind of nudge one of the party members, whoever's next to me, and just kind of like point over to the two people and notice the axes on their back, possibly Runara, because by the looks of they're next to me, so kind of like give a nudge to Runara and kind of like point to those axes that I've noted.
The axes at this point are obvious to the rest of the party. They're fully there, and they are indeed miniature versions of Harshnag's axes, which many of your party have actually seen him wield at Neverwinter when Neverwinter had been attacked. Because yeah, he did a fucking tally that day, but at the same time, it was not the day for a warrior. It was a day for a mage, so he couldn't do as much. He couldn't really lead the day. As you guys are going, would you like to apply any buffs? And then I will need a stealth check. Oh, I would like a fresh one.
I suppose
Does
anybody
anyone-
has passed without trace.
I do.
Oh,
But it's more-
I think they're both. I think
I
someone else
do.
does as well. I think you
I
both do.
do, I do, and I have
Fucking
it
hell.
ready.
The number 15 once again.
I'm gonna do guidance on one.
Yeah, I'm
Good
gonna
shout.
do. I'm gonna do pass without trace then.
Thank you.
For the party.
Okay, we got one pass without trace. We don't need a second one. We're all good there. So, everyone, basically treat that as if you have plus 10 to your dexterity stealth checks, and you cannot be tracked except by magic.
Except me, because I'm too far away, I think.
You are too far away, unfortunately. Also, they do not know where you are.
Would I have to? I assume I'm gonna still do a stealth check as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
You will
still have
also
do
need
it.
to do a stealth check. You will just have plus 10 to it.
Okay.
Ooh, baby!
Oh,
The
okay.
glowing bird is stealthy.
I can.
You getting seen would not be the end of the world for us, Blue, I don't think.
Kayak's fine.
Eric somehow has a higher save, a higher one.
Kayak is practiced at blending in.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
suspicious.
My pass
One,
me-
feel free to roll a d4 and add that to that, so that you'll have a minimum of 20.
Is someone doing errand stuff, or is
Oh, that's
ignoring
correct. I don't think
Errand.
any of you have access to it.
because I think Naren would have disadvantage.
Yeah,
Heavy
Naren's,
armor.
Naren's in heavy armor, pretty sure.
Narwin is heavy armor.
True.
Yeah, Warforged.
What I will do is I will just mark him down as all players, so that you guys can pick and choose who would like to basically use his stealth checks or the like or not.
I'll step down from this one because I'm already piloting 2 characters.
I'll grab it. Disadvantage still.
I came in clutch with that pass with that Trace.
That's
Yeah.
look at
Ooh.
That makes that 17.
So, yeah, I rolled the lowest on a 14.
Okay. Right. Oh, that's the one to be.
So I just looked at Wittick's inventory.
Oh, come on, what?
No, I was just checking the armor and I just saw Roman's pop figure. It's made me laugh.
That's a throwback.
Oh, we've got pop vinyls, man.
Yeah, it is indeed the Funko Pop. In more ways than one. So you guys begin following. Poe, you're on the roofs. Basically, your biggest issue is a lot of these places have a bit of a distance between roofs, and you have to actually go yeah, and you have to jump between them each one.
I will pop a spider climb if I need to.
Would make this a lot easier for you.
If it will notably help me keep pace, then yes, I will.
Okay, it would absolutely do so. Let's see then. As you guys are there, very interestingly, how far back do you guys keep? I want to know that as well, because that'll make a difference. You don't have to be very close to follow Harshnag.
Yeah.
He is literally over buildings in many ways.
Yeah, I think we're trying to be so careful, so I assume that the general thought will be a safe distance. Like, we're not gonna suddenly
What would
lose
be
sight of
safe
him. So,
distance? I need to know distance.
if because we can see him around buildings, like we're fine to I guess be. I don't know. I'm terrible with numbers. Do people think 100 is too far, or do people want to be closer for spells?
I'd say
I
60.
would say just out of earshot. I couldn't give a specific distance for that.
I need specific
Yeah,
distances.
I'm bad
so
with visualizing
so
numbers,
far-
so I'm asking the group.
What about like maybe like 40, 45 feet away? So we can still see them, but we're like far enough away that it's not gonna we're not in one turn's distance of things happening.
If
So
someone
that-
turns, there'll be that moment of, oh wait, shit, we're far enough away. Back up.
Okay.
yeah. So about 45,
thing.
I'd say, is a kind of a good ballpark.
Yeah,
45
10
away.
I am directly parallel to them, but on the roofs, so probably about 10 feet from them, but then however much up.
Yeah, for you that'd be about 15 to 20 foot, depending. Sometimes only 10 foot, depending on the size of the buildings. And the spider climb will make the differences there. So at present, you guys are actually kind of ideally distanced away.
Okay.
Literally, yeah, on the map.
Perfect.
Light the beacons.
Gondor calls for aid.
As you guys follow after Harshnag and the people who are leading him, two things to note. Firstly, his sheer size and the amount of actual destruction he causes just by being pulled through this place, like someone has literally taken a bull through a china shop. There are many people who are enthralled, waiting to bring materials and gold and possessions to the top of this place that are actually just crushed. Like, legitimately, it was a case of stepped on without even consideration or care or thought, and then other people have come and picked up their things that are now standing where they were. As you guys continue with that, and you find yourselves turning the corners. There's a moment where I'm gonna say with Runara and probably Serenus. So if the rest of you guys don't mind, actually move up where the rest of the party is gone. Thank you. Can someone drag King, or will I need to drag
Yeah,
King?
I'm having map problems.
There you go, buddy. I got you. As you guys proceed that way, you begin stepping essentially like in this more narrow space where Harshnag had to basically almost like crab walk through to get through, but has got yanked past, and over several crushed bodies and people who may or may not be dead, and it's very disturbing that you can't quite tell. As you do that and you all begin moving your ways between the heavily plated people and the like, a figure is at the corner staring directly out towards you all, and it is one of those large brutish looking figures, thuggish looking figures with like dark red skin with almost like a purple undertone to it in some areas, and just like that one like ice blue eye with like a goat's pupil staring out towards you, and fully looking towards all of you, having rolled way higher than your lowest perceptions have gone. What would you guys do? He has not made any contact, has not made any noise, has not protested out to you, is staring directly at you.
What do you think, guys? Would we still play it cool?
I'm not with you. I can't advise.
Kind of want to say that Lo will be taking the persona of a tourist, sort of, kind of mock, sort of pretend talking to the rest of the party in a kind of actor's whisper of, "Oh, check out the architecture on that building. Oh, look how the atmosphere is fantastic." You know, that sort of average tourist who's walking around in Pompeii or something.
Okay.
By all means, give me a deception check.
Come on.
That's cocked.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Natural 20
God damn it.
minus 1.
You'll love to see it. Lowe's just that good. Can beat a crit.
Crits are not automatic successes, as we all know. So you're there admiring the architecture of the now entirely destroyed building. As the figure is staring out towards you, reaches down into like a front pocket, like almost like a waistcoat pocket, and pulls out a small little metal piece, pops a button on it, and looks towards it, lifts up their eye from it as if thinking, closes it, and pops it back in their pocket before turning and leaving.
Hmm.
Guess we keep following the way
Yeah.
Arsenic was led.
Do they go the same way as the Hoshak guys go?
He's the one bringing Harshnag. He was one of the people who was
Okay.
bringing Harshnag, and they stopped.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Continues to proceed
I
along. Go on.
This is park stalking. I will keep an eye out on the way to wherever they're going for if there is like a really good ambush point. Like if we walk past a place where ambushing is almost a shame not to do, I would like to know about it.
Okay. So far you've passed about 3.
It's a city, I guess.
It's a city with incredibly tight spaces with an entire cadre of guards that go on one side of Harshnag and these two on the other as he's being pulled through tight corridors. Like what would be normal standard places where people would have no issue about moving about become chokeholds moving a frost giant through.
Is it? Sorry.
Sorry, Kel, I was just going to ask, do you still have your animal messenger?
Great question.
I think
Please
you
hold.
did. I think you did.
No, you sent that off
You
to
just-
Sildar.
I think the DM is
yeah.
correct.
I think so too, actually.
Oh right. Yeah, it's an item.
Also, I'm on the lookout for anything I think I could. Did I see the hourglass in front of Harshnag or around Harshnag?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, you would have.
I'm looking for anything that I think I could do to obstruct the road in front of them. Like any sort of like
Mm-hmm.
cartoonish cart full of barrels that I could break open and make difficult terrain. Like anything I could do to
Knock over a
just
cart of cabbages.
Who's
Yeah.
playing Baldur's Gate?
It's just they're casually going to turn a corner, and there's going to be 16 explosive barrels piled up, but their AI pathing keeps them walking through it.
where's the smoke powder barrel stash?
God, I'd love to
Give
do
me a
that.
perception check. Not just for that, but for
Perception
other
or
things.
investigation?
Perception, because there are things. There are things to notice, not
Because
just
there are
places.
things. Because life needs things.
Make a fucking perception check.
That wasn't meant to be advantage, so
No, it was not.
it's
It was
another
not. It's a
fucking
15.
15.
It's another 15,
There are other numbers.
and you're
Not
not
today,
getting to use
apparently.
them. And you're not getting to use them. Let me just wait a second.
Out of character. A case theory about the feeble mind re-up, I think, is sound. So
We're having the same conversation.
I just want to see if I can slow them to the point where that hourglass would run out, because I want to see what happens. And I feel like it's something that could be done without fully committing. Like, people get
Yes.
slowed down on the way to places all the time. We'll find out.
Yes, 100%.
Unless you're there, not you're looking around, you're going, okay, can I be an absolute nuisance? And you're staring out and you're looking, and you're trying to observe, like, is there anything to do? And you're just thinking, I just need something, either a cart or something absolutely moronic to slow these guys down. And unfortunately, there is no real, like, say, giant cart that could easily be rolled into place. It seems like this was a path that has been carefully made to ensure that this repeated process can occur without interference if there is a feeble mind being performed by the end of it. But as you're there, and you're one of these buildings, it kind of like has a more like mishmash buildings, and like the architecture is like cobbled together as fancy. There's no like set building structure and the like. You get up to the highest point at the top of it to look about, and it almost brings you to level with the top of the plateau at the top of this center of the town, which goes up like maybe 50, 60 foot up. And as you're there, you hear chittering, and you're like, oh fuck, what the fuck? And turn to look, and there's in one of the buildings that is basically facing out towards and looking down, you see vermin, as in vermin, the ratmen, in one
These
of the buildings.
fucks.
Like
Not with
from
wide Cheshire grins on their faces, though. Working away, doing something in one of the kitchens.
Huh. Like the ones that we fought in Neverwinter?
Like the ones you fought in Neverwinter and in other places beyond that again.
I'll throw it back.
And the situation is they're on the... I'm like conveniently on window level with a building on the top of the plateau, and I can see them in that building, but it's like on road level, it's quite far away from where they are.
Yes. You
It's just I
essentially
happen
the
to have
building.
noticed it.
Yeah. Again, I roll for it for the fun, and it's a 15. It's like they're not hiding because they don't need to. But essentially, the building you're on goes up maybe about like it's on like the slope essentially, and one of its high points on top of that you can actually see quite a bit, and it's more of like from an angle, you know, as you pass a building, you can look up and you can see something in a window, even though it's quite high up. It's that akin, like you're not truly at a height level to like be eye to eye, but you can look and see it up there. Whereas from the ground level, you wouldn't really be able to see it. It's only from being at this elevated position you can even look up and see it.
Okay, cool. And do they seem like visibly upset? Like they don't seem to be being made to look
By all
happy.
means, inside check the vermin.
Sure. Anyone want to place any bets on what number I'm about to roll?
15.
15.
16.
3.
1.
A different
19.
number.
It's higher.
Hey.
You see one of the vermin. You can see like their face up there, and they have this big old like mischievous grin on their face. Like they seem to be enjoying something. They seem to be like chopping at something, and quite eagerly doing it. Like you can see like one hand is focusing until something reaches nearby them, and they smack it like a. And you could just like see the inaudible conversation being happen, but entirely has a full shouting at something as if telling something off. You've seen this in the window of other people's houses. Somebody reached for food that wasn't prepped yet and was getting told off for it. Kind of like that vibe of it, but entirely went full grumpy faced, angry.
Yeah, it's expressing a full range of emotion.
It's expressing a full range of emotion, and their head isn't exploding.
Yes. We found me when I'm cooking dinner. Out of character. We don't want to start shit, right?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We really
Hey.
don't.
We
I mean,
can.
eventually we do.
We will eventually, but I don't know if now is the time.
But
Unless,
also,
unless
Charles,
you want to cause your distraction to try and slow them down.
Well, this is the thing. I could. I don't know if it would cause more problems.
Charles,
Because the
think
thing
of-
is, it wouldn't stop them. They would destroy it, but it would slow them down potentially.
Charles, think of it this way. We didn't discuss with you the plan before you stealthed off.
You know, you're right.
This
So you do what you would do.
You've probably worked out a couple of things like we have, but you can't talk to us about it, so you make your decision.
God, I never thought I would say this, but my kingdom for the message cantrip. Hang on, let me check the range on this.
BRB, folks, just for a sec.
It doesn't have a range. We love to see it.
Oh god.
Let's go.
Do you need something looking up?
Nope. I'm going to, the next time we are at a good, like what Pox would think is a good ambush point, in that it's pretty secluded, and there isn't too many civilians sort of caught up.
Would be about here-ish.
Yeah.
As they begin taking them up the cliff face.
I'm going to, like, just in like an alleyway, a little bit ahead of them, so that it would immediately walk out into the street. I'm going to pull out my sensor of elemental control and just summon an elemental and command it to go and engage.
Okay.
It's completely random which one I get. I roll a d4 for it.
Yes,
And
indeed.
it doesn't matter because they're gonna annihilate it, but they'll have an instance and
So-
continue.
Here's what I'll say. I've been handed Marthas. And that's not what I intended to say, but here's what I'll say. Curls, you can get to there, move yourself to there, and roll me a d4. On a 1, it's fire. On a 2, it's water. On a 3, it's air. On a 4, it's earth.
Can you ping where you wanted me to move again? Sorry, I had to close 8 different windows.
Quite all right. About there, please. Because there will be like a right next to this building. Essentially, there'd be like a nice little spot where you can just go.
There's a good
Okay.
turn. There's a good corner there, which
Yes.
I like out of character. And I will also, the moment I do this, I will retreat 2 buildings back.
Pop that ring back on and go shit.
Just saying that's the best out of context conversation to come back to.
I believe I said 4, it's earth.
Yes.
One moment, please. So sorry, I just realized I didn't have fucking music on. Okay. So Poe, you pull yourself in, you're like, okay, yeah, this will be good. This will be good. This will do. This will do. And you reach in, you pull out the decant. Like you activate it, you whisper it out, and out comes. You can just see the stone about you begin to build and rise, and like portions of the buildings begin being ripped out as a enormous, like a decently sized humanoid almost begins pulling itself out of the earth, and from it you can just see like out of the ground it pulls up a giant hammer of earth along with it, and this is an earth elemental myrmidion.
Oh.
And
I got a buffer one. Love that for me.
yeah, it more like a soldier than the standard earth elemental is, and you issue it out.
You're gonna get trashed.
You issue it out, and there's a side of you that summoning and commanding something to do your bidding, you can't help but enjoy it.
So I'll send it out of the alleyway it spawned in, just kind of on the edge of my vision, and then I will retreat to a safe distance.
Okay. For the sake of ease, these guys got to hear. The 2 figures which are leading the Harshnag, both just step back and just issue the guards out, whilst their heads are on a swivel looking for anything. So I need a stealth check from you as you try to get away. And I imagine you immediately pop the ring back on.
Oh yeah, if that wasn't said. Yeah, uh-huh. Finally, where were you?
That's more
It-
like it.
It mattered here because it's not just them that's rolling perception checks. Okay. You do that and you just immediately book it. You get the fuck away. And these figures.
Yeah, I don't care what the
actually-
result is, I just need to get away.
You just see that both these figures looking towards it as it approaches. They issue the guards out to fight it, and they both literally crouch like as if almost like in a frog's pose where like the knees will be incredibly bound and they bow their torsos very low, spring, and both spring about 30 feet into the air and land on buildings next to this, like opposite sides, distance away each other enough from each other that the likes of spells would probably not really hit one and the other, and their heads are on a swivel watching everything.
Wait, are they still holding on to Harshnag's chain?
No,
On the roof?
one of them, as he was bounding down, that chain got slammed into the ground.
Okay.
And that one there, he's preparing to spring next, but the other one has already sprung up and is observing and trying to keep an eye.
How far are we from Harshnag? Still 45 foot.
You guys have to be, yeah.
I assume we were maintaining because we had no reason to do otherwise.
I'm going to
I
get
will say,
myself.
You guys will also be surprised by this because you had no idea it was coming. So
Right.
you don't get to do anything right now. Hold
Well,
that thought for
it's
just a minute.
the moment I see them go, I want to cast a spell.
Okay. Just hold tough on it for just a sec because they're reacting to something that they see coming, but you guys have no idea anything is going on until they've already done something. So the guards begin moving in. One spike gets driven into the ground. Again, this is out of your guys' perspective, but Poe, from your angles, you book it down like 2 buildings up, and you look down to see the elemental, the Myrmidian, just roars out and charges forward with like a big stone shield and a big stone hammer, and just begins fucking clubbing guards. I'm not rolling it because this guy makes 2-3 attacks a turn, and just actually, I'm going to do this. Runara and the rest who are down below, you just hear from a distance. You hear like a scream that gets closer and closer and closer as a guard gets fucking catapulted towards where you guys are, as he just fucking punts somebody in a distance with just a mighty thunderous hammer strike. At this point, would you like to do a spell room?
Yeah, so I want to get to one edge so I can't see the two that are on the roof. But I can still see Harsnag.
You can see Harshnag. One of them is on the roof. The other one is impaling the spike into the ground.
Okay, I'm going to cast Command on Harshnag.
Okay.
And command him to escape.
Interesting.
This is an enchantment spell, if that makes a difference.
All of us, we don't want to pop things off too early. Also us.
Shit. Well,
Right.
that is how every D&D plan goes.
This is peculiar. Let me look up the Feeble Mind spell again one moment.
Gotta look up wording.
Basically, do they understand language still? It's all it needs, I think.
Can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand languages, or communicate in any intelligible way.
Can't utter, but can it understand language? Can't communicate, but does it still know what language is?
The creature can't cast spells, activate magic items, understand language.
Oh, understand. Sorry,
Yeah,
I misheard that.
Or communicate in any
That's fine.
intelligible way.
That's cool.
So you whisper under your breath, and Harshnag doesn't seem to respond.
Okay.
With going off of that, then, would it could still hear that? It still can hear at least.
He can hear,
Oh,
he
he can
can't
hear.
understand.
Would a horde of silent alarm be able to grab its attention? Because he doesn't dictate that they have to understand what's going on. It's just, it says when you use an action to blow it, one creature of your choice can hear the horns blare.
It'd be like startling a horse, essentially.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's like
Let me just
he's
look
a
up
little
the-
bit like
the-
an animal at the moment.
Harshnag is a bit like that. Just let me check for a sec. A horn of silent alarm. Let me just look it up and just make sure.
But he does recognize friends. So
Correct.
if he's alarmed and he looks over at us, he will see us who are friends.
Yeah, and if given the hourglass that we were seeing, we just got to distract him just long enough for that to run out.
Okay. You put the horn to your lips as you turn the corner, so move your icon down as well so that you can just see him. So that, because essentially from your angle, there's a bit of a hill in the way. He's big. He's not that fucking big. So you get in the position, you see him, and you blow the horn, you point towards him, and there's this moment where he almost like clasps his hands up to his ears in a moment, like just making like uncomfortable, like just noises. And we'll see if. You still have Pass Without a Trace on, which gives you +5 to your stealth passively, or +10 to your stealth passively. So I'm going to say that with that, unless those guys rolled absurdly well or like you made something obvious, they have no reason to look behind them right now. They're focusing on the loud, large elemental in front of them, which at this point, as you two have made an action and done something, has entirely fucking battered through like 4 more guards. Just it's almost like it's stumbled down and like cast tumble through people, and it's just thrown guards around. It's just fucking mauling them. The second one makes its way up and lands up on the top. So this one essentially he moves up to here, and he's up on top of a building looking down towards this. The other one who's already up and above, Poe, from your position, the one that's up above, essentially you can only see like out of them, you only see like the white eye, essentially the ice blue eye, basically with the goat look. From the other one, when they're up there, one of them looking down, the one that's already like taken that position, the one who would be slightly closer towards Runara, he's staring down, and as he does, his other eye glows, and it's like almost like a draconic or like a reptilian, just like slit eye, but with bright red in the behind it and black to the front, and just focuses on it for a bit. Let's see what he can do. That's not good. That's not good either. So with that, he observes it, shrugs, and you can just see that with the axe on his back, he just cracks its knuckles and jumps down and lands behind the Myrmidian as it swings to crush another person, which it does proceed to do. So out of the 6 guards, none are left. From behind it now, you notice that as it's like leaps down, across its forearms and across its knuckles, you can just see these spines, like these like bone protrusion spines, almost like slabs of slate, almost cover over the knuckles and across like elbows and across ridges, across like almost like arm guards, like blade catchers kind of thing, and it just begins pummeling into the back of the Myrmidian. And it does strike it. Now, actually, this will be fair because both of these things are durable, but it would take them a while to kill each other. So that's to me. Punch. Interestingly enough, its punches are like spiked from these strikes to the point where it goes through and cuts into this creature, but the creature itself seems actually quite resistant, even as it turns and he kicks it to the point where the head fully like would on a normal person snap. It just like rings itself back in. This creature is also immune to being stunned, as it seems to be trying to strike points on it, and doesn't seem to take as much damage from the warrior as you would expect at this moment. It actually seems to be quite resistant to his attacks. The other one is still up above and watching, and at this point, does anyone else do anything?
Do you think it's worth us trying to like break the chain, guys, or do we think that if Harshnag is like snapped out of it, he could break that chain himself?
The latter.
He can get out.
Okay.
If he was in his right mind, he could get out.
Okay.
As I said, we don't really know how long's left on that the timer that we saw before. I don't think we had like we had
Yeah,
an
I'll-
it was
It was about
late.
half hour.
It was about half hour.
I'll be
Um,
fully transparent. I'm not trying to succeed. I'm not trying to draw attention. I literally just want them to fight because I want to either kill time and gain a bit of knowledge on what they do. I have no like Pox is not gonna follow up basically. So anything that you guys do is A, up to you, but B, like it's changing it from a distraction to we're going now.
Right. Okay.
As you guys are discussing, the horn is blared, and I would like the party who. So this would be Serenus, Kika, and I'm gonna say Renona for the fun of it. Give me, like, whoever among you would like, give me a persuasion check to try and convince Harshnag to come towards you. Because he's heard the alarm and he knows it's in your direction, but now you've got to coax him.
Kika is good at persuasion. She got a +7.
I got
Mm.
nothing.
And Harshnag knows her
That's
best. so I'll give
12.
Then
Ah.
someone else take it, but with guidance.
Someone go up to the giant, go pss, 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 pss.
a-
Come here, kitty. Come on.
You
Come
have
on.
it. Come on, you
give-
big boy.
Give my wings a little flutter. Just feel like, oh here, hello.
Hey.
Flag signals like on the airport.
By all means, make a persuasion check. You are being given guidance by Renona.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Why did you roll?
I thought you said for me to roll.
I was talking to Blue, because Blue was acting.
Oh,
Sorry.
Sorry,
okay.
I don't remember saying that
Oh.
loyalty was in for that. Am I mistaken? Did I say that?
No idea.
I can't remember.
Right, do we want to roll back on that then?
Kika, roll.
You want me to do it? Okay.
Yes.
I will probably not do as well as loyalty because loyalty has a higher modifier, but I will try.
But you said that you're gonna get I think Renara.
Brunana
Yeah.
is guidance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, sod's law.
Roll for guidance as well. It's a D4. It makes a difference sometimes.
Oh god, they've changed the dice roller. Cool, I'm gonna do the command because they've changed the dice roller.
Have I?
Well, I clicked on it in the UI. Oh, come on, I'm rolling like dog shit.
It's
tonight.
fine. You just click on the D4 at the top when you click on it.
So, you motivate. You try to like fur out. Like there's a moment of what do I do? How do I? And you just like flurry yourself up to like look pretty and like starry to like attract him by shiny glitteries, and then behind, you can just hear. Come on, come on. And from behind you, you can just see like the curled finger, and there is Lo behind you, fully bardic, like a little bit of the bardic charm and that little bit of a come on, buddy, come on. And Harshnag, I'm going to give Harshnag a strength check. He's going to make it at disadvantage because he doesn't know how to correctly pull this. But we're going to give him an athletics check, but with disadvantage. And
Can
for the sake
Kayak
of this,
try to help?
I'm going to say that I wanted you to do it, but then I'm not also going to ignore the fact that someone did just roll a fucking 26.
Yeah, I meant with the chain. I meant with the chain, not with the.
No, because if he does that, they're going to spot him.
He's not going to transform into a dragon, and he's got a spell to cast.
Okay.
But if there's no time, then say no.
No.
Okay. Carry on.
18. Okay, that's only a 12. Doesn't do it. If you want to try next turn with Kayak doing a spell, you can do that. But
Okay.
right now, Harshnag is trying to move towards you guys, but the chain moves a little bit in the ground, and he kind of just essentially moves a little bit, but it's more like just on the radius of the chain itself he gets to move. And at this point, we go back in. Hilariously, the elemental has indeed regained its thunderous strike. Which actually hits him. Does it hit him? I think it does. Oh, fuck, it does.
I fully
Okay.
thought this bitch would be dead by now.
It's incredibly durable. He gets to make a strength saving throw. He makes it with the natural 20. He still does take 3d10 additional thunder damage. 25, and then an extra maul hit. Ooh. Now let me look at their stat block as well. Okay. As you're watching them fight, Poe, the Meridian turns around and just the shield more or less bats away the arms, and he fucking clocks him in the ribs with that hammer, and you can hear as if someone covered a grenade almost with the helmet. You can hear that boom noise of like that was held down, but there was a thunderous impact, and by all accounts, that guard should be just like that guy should be just thrown. he gets launched from it, but then kicks off of the stonework next to them, back down, tries to give a kick, and just gets hammered again in the chest. And the one that's up above, like that's above looking down at this, begins laughing at the fact that he's getting mollywopped by this thing. Until it sees Harshnag move, and the one that's up above leaps down and grabs the chain and begins yanking it back to try and pull Harshnag back to where he is. Which he fails to do with a fucking 6.
If nothing else, I'm glad I gave these guys the opportunity to look like clowns.
That is always important.
Aye! It's been dragged along.
Tries to pull Harshnag, but it's almost like everyone has seen videos of somebody whose dog is too big and decides it wants to go, and they just like they're trying. It's not working though. Like he is full heels dug in trying to pull, and it is not working. But that's mostly the case of this is a guy who is the size of a human, and this is Harshnag. The other one is going to fight back again. He is going to try and protect himself, and let me just check. I'm into being stunned though. So he's going to make a few more attacks in. Hits, hits, and hits. Oh, that one misses. The first 2 hit, and Meridian. You watch as it begins trying to strike into it, and there seems like to be small after detonations. Like it impacts, and then there's a detonation to his strikes into this thing's chest. And let's see. The first one he fails this. So the first one he gets hit, and doesn't seem to regain himself. The second one he gets hit and begins nearly collapsing down, but as he begins almost like as if he was about to be stunned, rears back and just headbutts him straight into the skull. And does not take as much damage as you might think as well, because those rolls were really fucking bad. Okay, Dave struck back in again. Because again, I'm not going to just dismiss this, because this was an item that I gave you for a long time ago. I'm going to let it fight it out, and it's actually doing quite well still. Party. I know Karak wanted to do something. Now he would have a chance to do it.
Okay, well, what Kayak was thinking of doing was casting heat metal on the chain, which would weaken it so it could snap easier.
It would also begin burning Harshnag.
Yeah, I do it on like a particular link, like not the whole chain, like a link. Can you?
That spell's not that specific. So I'm gonna go with no on that, because that's not as specific as like you heat one link in a chain. You heat the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, we lost someone. I think we just lost Low.
F.
It was me, I misclicked!
Damn it, Bobby! So, can't do that. Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
Is the other guardian looking towards Harshnag, towards our direction, like that way?
It's more he's on the ground looking up at Harshnag. Like, you can kind of see the kick up of the dirt about him as he's trying to hold Harshnag in place and force him back.
But I feel like if I wanted to get within touching range of Harshnag, I would at least be in his peripheral vision.
Harshnag's big. You might not be, and he's fully focused on trying to hold him. Basically, I would make you make a stealth check, but the DC would not be that high.
Okay. Do it.
You still have Pass Without a Trace on.
I'm going to try and approach so I can touch Harshnag.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Stealth, there it is.
That's a 19. That Pass Without a Trace makes a difference because he rolled a 12 and a 16.
Now,
But he is rolling with disadvantage.
just to double check, you said the manacles and the chain non-magical, but
Correct.
the adamantium spike magical.
Correct.
Then I will touch Harshnag on the leg and cast freedom of movement.
which means he cannot be shackled by non-magical means.
It means he can spend 5 foot movement to break non-magical shackles.
Yeah.
Which, the
So-
moment you do,
Yeah.
runs right through him, and his neck just like arches back, and that shackle at his neck just snaps. And the chain just like drops down in front of him, and as he like pulls himself back a bit, kind of half crushes a building to the side of him. There's just that moment of the chain breaks, and the figure looks down towards the chain, looks past Harshnag to where you are, and I'm gonna need the rest of the party to roll initiative.
Stampede!
Fox just looks at this and is like, "We could also do chaos. Chaos works." And just.
Fuck yeah, Harshnag. Hang on a sec. Where's the fucking turn order? There it is.
It did work. That second one is, yeah, we did.
Marvelous.
Fucking Jesus Christ! Where is it? There it is.
And now let's do his little thugs.
My inspiration.
I haven't said this yet, but I really wish you had called them truly anything else.
My Nifty
know.
has been a lot better recently. I'm very happy. It was terrible. That's like
It
that's
knew
like
it knew the
third
character
statement.
had to change. It was like, we got to do something. We
Okay,
got to
with
change it
that,
up.
Also, gonna make no comment on what icon you chose for them.
thank you. I appreciate that you haven't. It's been my mindset for them for a long time. I appreciate you haven't. So, moving on. I need to really just accept the fact that you can just use Hero Forge for icons now. Poe, you hear the chain, which is big as fuck and heavy as fuck, fall, and you can see at the end of the hill, essentially, that you're at, the big figure is looking down towards the chain, which is now fallen. Like, you can definitely tell the visual cues of off-screen that chain has fallen.
Oh fuck, and I'm first. That wasn't just flavor.
No, it was not.
Hey Pox, what we doing, girl?
You said chaos.
She's not here. And Harshnag is free of shackle. Adamantite
Yes.
thing is just in the ground.
Correct.
Two guys. One guy's up on roof.
Correct.
One guy is on level with Harshnag.
Correct. Oh, they're not. He's no longer on there. He jumped down to grab the chain. So
Understood.
no one is on roof. But
No
there's
one is
one
on
guy
roof
who
apart
is
from me.
fighting your stony boy.
I am going to blood maledict ice on my crossbow and hold an attack for if they notice or move towards the party.
Okay. You can definitely say that he's looking down, like he's probably noticed someone. Maybe the party. This one here has.
As much as I have been popping off, I don't want to pop off too much in case we're managing to sneak under the radar.
So you're gonna hold your action until you see him move.
And if I see him engage with the party, I will shoot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, with that done, we're actually gonna move on to him. So who's within 30 feet of him? You are. Runara is. Everyone else is back here.
Yeah, I'm just to clarify. I'm assuming the map. Obviously, these aren't the measurements for the street, but
No.
for distance wise,
This is
We'll
more
use
of
it.
like this is more like distance wise. The buildings are more like messy and all about the place, so
yeah,
it's a
that's
bit more
fair.
loosey goosey than that.
That's more
But
check, yeah.
it's not an exact like 5 foot to 5 footer, because otherwise Harshnag will be a literal fucking giant, not just a. Anyway, moving on. This figure is present there, and as he's focusing in, his ice blue, like ice whitey blue eye entirely like fades, but as almost like as if it entirely becomes a void. Runara, and I'll also say to Poe. Let's just describe this. Okay, well, firstly, I think I need. Yeah, okay. I think I need a intelligence check from both of you.
Check or saving throw?
Saving throw, please. Sorry.
Just the two of us, yeah. Oh wait,
Yes,
that's what
please.
it. I was like, why I've got +1? I was like, no, that's what it's character sheet.
Ignore the
That's a
22.
15.
It's a 15.
Oh, intelligence
Shocker.
check.
Saving throw.
Oh, saving throw. Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be the same.
Okay.
Oh
Runara.
wait, is this a spell? Is this a
This
spell save?
is this is not a spell.
Okay, because I've advanced spell saves if that's what
Okay.
it was. But
This is actually the antithesis of a spell. Runara, what's the highest level spell slot you currently have available?
5th.
5th? You've not expended it?
I have 2 5th level spell slots, so I've not used
Okay.
yet.
Poe, you have the ability to cast spells, but you don't use a spell slot, correct?
I do have spell slots. I have one left.
Okay, what level is it?
Whatever. The second, I think, because
Second level.
it's like Warlock spell slots. It's just
Understood.
whatever. They're all the same level.
Okay. Runara, you lose that 5th level spell slot. Like, you expend it. Like, treat it as if it has been expended.
Mm-hmm.
And you take 5d6 psychic damage. Poe, exact same thing, but 2d6 psychic damage. As you guys see in this moment, the other eye that he has, this like reddish slitted eye, just opens up, and it's he's focusing as if seeing through that, but that void where his left eye used to be, like you guys just see as if, and especially Kika, who still has her detect magic up, it's like there's a siphon or like a vortex just sucking in the weave directly into that location on his eye, and it seems like he begins vibrating in place, and he is going to move towards you, Runara. As he does that, Poe, do you want to take a shot?
Yes.
Go ahead. Uh, 1 sec there. I just need to check something.
Check it quick.
Are you going to choose to sneak attack on the second one?
If I'm allowed to.
Okay. Makes a difference because he was going to deflect the first one.
Are we doing this?
He reduces the first one he takes by 9 damage. As it's essentially coming in, you fire that bolt, and he reaches up and catches towards it, but it's already gotten into his torso in a segment. And that second one you shoot in, you wouldn't have advantage on the second one, so you wouldn't get sneak attack.
Understood. Add it to the first one.
Okay. So that's going to be 10, 33 down to 24. 24 damage into him. And then the second one, I'll just calculate that up in a second.
And I am no longer invisible.
No, you're not.
I saw Runara in pain. I saw him step that way, and I said no.
No, I don't think you will. And I actually need to make 2 concentration checks on him now. So just actually, I need to make this check first because it will actually determine whether or not you. Okay, that first bolt hits him, and it's like that vibration that he's affecting just fizzles, and he is stunned. So the sneak attack does go through on the second one. So I'll treat that as being um,
8.
8 damage total. So that instead, we'll calculate that in there. So that'll be
My man was hasted?
he absorbed magic and got infused. Okay, that happens. That happens to him. That's his turn basically gone. He is stunned. Serenus, you're up.
Right. Let's make sure the gods are shining favorably on me at this point. I see the guy, the one who's was just behind Harshnag and doing the one who
I'd say he's only just out of your vision. You could move up to try and get into a position with him. Basically, you're more or less just going to need to like get up to about there to see him.
Yeah. I'm gonna move up and right. I am going to cast Magic Stone on one of my Walloping Stones.
Let's go.
I'm gonna try and hit that guy right in the head.
Now it's
I'm
on.
gonna hit that guy right in the fucking skull with a rock.
It wasn't on before this, but it's on now.
Okay, right.
Hang on. I am finding it absolutely hilarious that now the canonical werewolf is throwing a rock at a particular guard and just says "fetch."
Right. Let's
So you have
see.
advantage because he's stunned.
I have advantage. Ooh, okay, right. I don't think I'm gonna.
It's fucking clocked in the head.
I don't think he's gonna, because it says throw at a creature DC 10 strength saving throw.
He fails it because he's stunned and just falls backwards against the stonework. He's just out.
Let's go.
You smack him in
I
the
think I
fucking
vaguely
mouth.
remember who these guys are, if I did ever. And the fact that you just did that is the funniest fucking thing.
It is fucking hilarious.
They are down.
Okay, that's your turn. Stacy, quit summoning
that's me.
Cthulhu in the thing and click a spell instead.
I'm sorry.
Is there anything you'd like to do as a bonus action, Serenus? Or is that the bonus action is stone, then throw?
We still need to figure that, because I think we decided that Magic Stone is a bonus action, or was it? Yeah, so Magic Stone itself is a bonus.
And if it
action.
isn't a bonus action, it's a bonus action for you who's been pelting stones since they were 5.
Yeah, so with my other turn then, with my action then, main action, I will touch myself and cast Barbed Skin on
You
myself.
touch yourself.
In the street?
Public indecency, get him.
So
So you
my
cast that on
DC
yourself and
my AC
put your
is
hand
now
over it,
16.
and you guys all see that he turns into this almost like a bleached white bark texture to all of his skin. And you are now bark skinned. It is Harshnag's turn.
What about me?
Oh, sorry, it is your turn. Loyalty, what are you going to do to me?
Right. First things first. I'm going to use a Mantle of Inspiration on Wittek. Right, I have to check now what maximum I could do. Right, it's still +4. Okay. So Wittek, Tian, Wittek, Tian, and Serenus.
Okay.
Actually, Kika as well. I keep forgetting I have +4. Okay. So that basically means you have you can use your reaction to move further up should you need to.
Okay.
Wicked will.
I think I need to just because I can't see anybody because I'm ever so slightly round the corner.
Also, you gain plus 11 temporary HP.
Ooh.
So scoot your boots. Everyone has been affected. King, have you been affected? I was looking through things there. Was King affected or no?
I said Wittek, Tian, Serenus, and Kika.
Never mind then. Disregard. You'll get there eventually, one.
I was gonna say I didn't think I was.
I was disassociating while also trying to read my spells.
Okay.
That's on bonus action. Just out of curiosity, you said that there was a queue of people with offerings.
Yes, and you guys are basically. I'm treating it like essentially your distances here are being affected by them in some ways because, well, there's a whole cadre of people, several of which there's a bit of space because they've either been shoved or crushed by Harshnag as he's moved through.
DM, can you indulge me for a second?
On stream, hun?
Wow.
I would like to see if animate objects works on any of these offerings. Like, for example, are there any sort of gold?
Let's go.
Are you going to do the Sorcerer's Apprentice on me here?
That's what the spell's for.
What's this, Fantasia?
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to put the spell into Roll20 because it is a wall of text. But I can if you want me to.
For the sake of this and in this moment, is it an enchantment spell or is it a conjuration? What type of spell is it? What school is it? Don't click it into the chat. Just tell me what type it is.
No, I'm looking it up.
It's transmutation.
It's
Disregard then. So get Sorcerer's Apprentice. Yeah. You just begin kicking your hooves as you begin just boogieing, and also in kind of a bedknobs and broomsticks way, like you just begin chanting, and all like just selections of money, gold, and other elements just begin shivering and lifting up a bit and being animated slightly. So what do you do with it?
Right.
You're commanding the money.
I will read you the spell rather than putting it in. Objects come to life at your command. Choose up to 10 non-magical objects within range that are not worn or carried. Medium targets count as 2 objects, large count as 4, and huge count as 8. You can't animate any object larger than huge. Each target animates and becomes a creature under your control until the spell ends or until reduced to 0 hit points. As a bonus action, you can mentally command any creature you made with this spell if the creature is within 500.
Okay. So what I'm going to say with that is you've already used your bonus action, so you can't command anyone yet, but you've gotten everyone up.
Yes.
Okay. So on your next turn, you can command. Is there any movement you'd like to do yourself?
I'm going to stay put for now and see how this plays out.
Wittek and Runara are next to Harshnag, and Harshnag's kind of almost like put his hand between Runara, like, you know, the palm of it to Runara as if like just guarding her, almost like of a, hey, no, don't hurt the nice person kind of thing. Aware that a positive has been done to him, but not fully able to comprehend it. Runara, do you want to try and tell him to do something?
You can't communicate.
You're right, but you could use physical actions to try and like express what you want him to do.
I don't think he's smart enough.
Make him roll a very, very low intelligence check of it, but if the number on the dice is high enough, he might be able to do something. If not, he will just guard you.
No, I don't think. No, I don't think Renara's
Okay.
done what she meant to do.
Okay. He just puts a hand to kind of protect, and now it's your turn, Runara.
Okay. Is that guy still prone and stunned?
He is pinned against the wall almost from the rock because he fell, but he didn't like fully slump,
Okay.
and he's stunned. But he is prone basically. But he's just
He's technically
pinned-
prone, but
he's
he's like
technically prone. But there's literally not enough space for
he's
him to
not
go
horizontal.
prone. Yeah, there's
not
not enough
horizontal.
space for him to go prone. But yes.
Where's my character sheet? It's over here. I'm gonna walk over to that dude.
You casually approach Tiefling.
To that there. I'm just gonna smash him in the face with a hammer.
Smack him with the hammer. You have advantage, and he's stunned, so this will be a crit.
Half hammer. This one.
That's a bonk.
Oh,
And
ignore
you
ignore the phone bit. But I do have blessed strikes.
Yes, and this is also a
Um,
crit basically because he is stunned.
So I'll do blessed strike. 5 radiant damage.
So instead, that's the bludgeoning. Add 4 to that because that's the number you rolled, and that's an extra 5 from the blessed strike because you crit him.
I think that's it.
So how much is that in total then? That would be
So
plus 4 to that 13.
So it's 10 radiant and 13 bludgeoning.
Okay. Interestingly enough, you strike him, and the radiant seems to do no damage.
Okay.
But you bludgeon him in the head. That part always works.
And as a bonus action, it's been a while, guys. It's been a real while. I'm not gonna do anything as bonus action.
Okay.
Well, actually, hold on. I can do the thingy now, can't I? Channel ability. No, it's this one. It's a bonus action now, right? But I don't want to do that yet. No, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Kika.
Okay. Kika is going to summon Faye.
Okay, pull out your little buddy.
So my little friend.
Blah blah guy. Are they fuming, mirthful, or tricksy?
I think they are fuming.
Angry.
So their little butterfly wings have a little reddish purpley hue at the ends.
Pure Tinkerbell angry, fed up mode kind of look on him.
A little bit. Yeah, and then I've got their stat block right here. They have more armor than me, which is hilarious. And yeah, they are going to fly on over. They'll fly over here because they can. Wow. And they will attack the guy.
Okay, it'll be a crit because he's stunned and you have advantage.
Advantage makes 2 clawing slash attacks.
Okay, that does hit. And that is plus an additional 4, so that's 16 total. Are these attacks considered magical?
I'm gonna have to read the description of the spell because it's a summoned.
Actually, it's fine. Yeah, no, this is fine. Excuse me, this is fine.
So it'd be 16 and 12. That first one.
Okay.
That's the first one.
rips into his neck and kind of just like rips that mask off. And underneath you see a tiefling. If Wittig were here, he'd notice. Doesn't look too dissimilar to Glory.
Uh-oh, John.
Yeah, these are the people I thought they were. Fuck you, Das.
Love you too.
Somewhere,
for
wherever the fuck she is, Glory just became so coined Karlak.
Just became just like flaming, burning up almost like.
Just setting fire to everything in a radius.
Do you want me to roll the damage again, or are you just going to double the numbers that are there?
I just doubled the numbers up is
Okay.
all, just to save on time.
Okay.
So is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, because that was Kika's action, and then the spirit gets an action. So
At the end of your turn, on initiative 10, you just hear audibly, as if next to each one of you individually, you just hear, "Oh, goodness sake." And the figure who's down on the ground just whoops and is teleported.
son of
And as they're down, there's this moment where next between where Harshnag is and between where Kika, Serenus, and Kaerk are, you just begin seeing an illusion begin taking place. Kika, you can address this as an illusion immediately because of your detect magic. You see a figure approaching, pulling themselves out, as if like apparating from the air. In entirely, almost just like guaranteed ugly, ostentatious clothes, and with this smirk, with just like the front lip just curled up just a little bit, just to expose the teeth. You see this graying figure, their horns going from like a almost like a boned color down to like a darker hued purplish. Their skin is like a bluish purple with a little goatee. They step out. One of their eyes is bright red with a slit of a slitted iris down. The other eye is white with white with a goat look to the eye. In these bright purple ostentatious clothes, which don't look too dissimilar to an adventurer's garb, a figure manifests out into the ethereal, looks about to you and just goes, "What on earth are you all doing in my home?"
this bitch.
Hands clasped in front of him, staring towards you all, literally like he's seen some kids on his fucking lawn. And with that, we go to Kaerk's turn.
How far are we going, gang? At this point, now that prime target.
I mean, he's
has appeared?
here.
Yeah, prime target is here. So like,
Illusion of prime target.
It's
is
not.
here.
It's not here though. So
true. Yeah.
He's not that fucking stupid.
He's always been a
was-
coward.
He was stupid enough to piss off Legacy once.
And now his sons eat magic. He's not.
Yeah,
I can read.
yeah. He got his ass beat by his wife so bad. She took so much of the divorce. Including what shreds of dignity he had. Kaerk, what are you doing?
I think I'm not sure what Kate's going to do, so I think I'm just going to go fall back on a reliable thing, which is inspiring people, since he is a bard. Because I don't think any of these spells are necessarily helpful at this exact moment. So I'm going to inspire. Shall I inspire Wittig? He's next. If you know what you're going to be doing with Wittig.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Whittaker's inspired. And Kayak will hold an action to to cast vicious mockery. I don't know, until he can see someone that he can actually damage, because this guy's an illusion.
Fair enough. At the end of your turn, before it goes to Wittig, the figure who's there in front of you all looks about, looks towards Harshnag that's there as well. Looks down to, like, almost as if he's checking a watch on his wrist that doesn't exist. He just like begins looking around at all of you, like as if he's trying to decide something.
I probably
You're
can't
gonna
talk
be a
out of
problem.
action, can I?
Oh, you can.
I don't suppose you have documentation.
Thanks for deciding this for me. Actually, you're wonderful. And he snaps his finger towards you. And I'm not seeing anything that implies that a save is made. I need an intelligence save from you.
I don't think I can counter spell because I don't think that's how that works when an illusion. Because I'm assuming he's casting it from wherever he is rather than the illusion casting it.
Potentially. I need an intelligence saving throw from you, which you have disadvantage on because you are.
But would you know it's an illusion?
Presumably we do. I thought
Blue
we did.
knows. Blue knows.
Kika knows because she has detect magic.
Okay, well, I probably don't know, so I probably try to counterspell if I think a spell's being cast, but it probably doesn't work, I'm guessing.
No. Unfortunately not. But I do need that intelligence save. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, bad luck.
So you get mazed, and you just go... And you are... entirely just disappear.
Great.
You find yourself in a labyrinthine demiplane. And you're looking around. It's entirely like almost like a butcher's workshop, or like a like what if you were reading a book, what someone would just like describe the most coined term for like a mad scientist's laboratory, but as a maze.
Yeah.
And I need a intelligence check from you. I believe this will still be at disadvantage.
Where's a Minotaur when you need one?
Interestingly enough, a Minotaur or a Garistro would automatically succeed this.
I know what spell it is.
Did you say check or saving throw?
Check. Okay. Unfortunately enough, you do not succeed because you have disadvantage. Essentially, when your turn will come by, every
When I end up
time.
in the maze, I'll just say, I'm going to take that as a no.
Fair enough. And the illusion just continues to walk around, seemingly just like looking about at the people, observing them, and saying, "Oh goodness sake! That was beautiful, like beautiful silks that have just been ruined with blood. Goodness sake, and guts too. That never comes out." Wittig's turn.
Well, Wittig was looking towards the one of the suns. I don't know if he would notice. Is the voice coming out of the illusion, or is the voice just all around us still?
The voice present always sounds like he's coming out of your right ear.
The voice always sounds like it's in my right ear. So Wittig could look to his right, see nothing.
Correct.
Okay. Then Wittig's going to continue.
For the sake of ease as well, he would be with Garm, but Garm, just in case for movement's sake, but I'm not going to have Garm be here for a rolling effect and like.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with Paladin, so
Nice.
Garm as well. What the fuck knows. If I can get to flanking, I'll try and flank this dude.
Unfortunately,
with the fundamental, but I know it's going to be difficult.
It's so narrow, and there are so many big bodies here right now. There's just It's interesting. Like I was about to say, this is a wall of meat. It actually isn't. It's a wall of stone, meat, and metal.
Okay. Bonus action, Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make 2 attacks.
Okay.
With Rune Fang, 2-handed. Straight rolls, not disadvantage. Rune Fang. So 20.
Okay, that hits. I believe it's a Constitution saving throw for that Thunder Smite.
Oh shit! Yeah. Hold on. Let me look at Thunderous Smite again. The attack is audible up to 300 feet. It is a struck of thunder, 2d6 thunder damage to the target. There is no save on the damage,
Yes.
but there is a save to be pushed away and knocked prone.
Okay.
A strength saving throw,
Understood. He has advantage because it's a spell.
which could be a 15.
He succeeds it. Roll the
Okay.
extra 2d6.
Oh shit! Yeah. Fuck it. I'm so fucking dumb. 2d6 thunder damage. Does this creature have the fiend subtype?
He does not.
Okay, that's fine. I'll make a second attack.
He fucking wishes, bitch.
The
Inspired.
second sword comes in to strike, and you are inspired.
Oh, sure, I'm inspired. What is it? D6, D8?
Kayak is on a D8.
Like a 19.
Okay. That will make the difference in the strike, and it does go through for 11 damage.
There we go. What is the false? What is the false damage?
Versus undead.
The force that binds us joins us together.
I was wondering why you were going there. I was
Orcs
wondering if it was
surround
gonna
the
be
engine.
It just from what they're into it down, it just says deals an additional 1d6 false damage. No reason. No.
Hang on a sec.
Double check it.
Uh,
I don't fucking know.
Sure, look, we'll throw it in. It's fine. It's fine. It's only 8.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Okay, that goes in as well. And is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. This figure looks around, seeing that he's now being like surrounded by people. You just, for the first time, you hear one of these people actually speak. Even as Wittick's fighting it, and as the other one was being struck, they're eerily quiet. Like there was one laughing at the other one earlier, but when they get hit, they don't grunt or make a noise of complaint, or they just firm it. And even as Wittig is coming in and striking it as heavily as he is, this figure, he's just not making audible response to it. He is bleeding. He is obviously taking damage, but he's not responding to it. But he then, under his mask, you can just hear him mutter the word, "Enough." And I need a dexterity save from Wittig.
Is this a spell?
He stomps his foot down on the ground, and it may be a spell.
Okay, we could try and counter spell. Do I have to roll? When it's just 3rd level counter spell.
It just counts as 3rd level, yeah, but you do need to roll.
Okay, that's fine. And it's with his modifier, right? So it'll be
Correct.
charisma roll.
Correct.
Did we ever decide if these are proficient?
No.
'Cause I know
They're not.
'cause I couldn't remember from time ago. So that will stop a 6th spell.
Correct, which would stop this spell, which was a 5th. You are about to be yeeted into the air. With that, he's going to use his bonus action to disengage.
Mhm.
He's going to move this way and find Poe.
What?
He's then going to move around Poe
Wouldn't we
and go in
all
this
like
direction.
to?
Just like stops, looks at you, and just continues to run.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
He is in disengaged
They
entirely
Oh,
the
disengaged.
whole way.
I chose to retain no information from the words you said. Carry on.
Understood. I wish I could myself. One, it is now your turn. Would you like to try to make your way out again? Make an intelligence check with disadvantage.
I need you to know that every time you say 1, I immediately start singing the whole of a chorus line in my head.
We are number 1.
One singular sensation.
Goddamn
One,
theatre
get out of
kids.
this mazer.
I just keep singing one is
Every
the magic
little move
number.
she makes. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, we all have different songs in our brain, which is not good.
One, I
Fucker is
need
in
you to
shambles.
make an intelligence check to try
Hey.
and escape the maze, but I'm not seeing anything. Nemo.
So I was about to say, sorry, I think I cut out for a second there. But like I was going to say, you already had me do a check.
That was
when I
for
first
the
went-
end of his effect. Now you're doing this one.
I checked the spell, and I'm only supposed to do it on my action.
Or I'm telling you what to do.
Okay, that works. Just checking.
Let him increase the difficulty level, Dance, please.
He's
just
trying to make a
intelligence check?
DC 20 check with disadvantage. It's enough.
I know.
What if Nemo doesn't want to escape?
What if I become one with the maze?
God.
There'd be a whole other issues.
One evidently doesn't escape, but as she's going around the maze, she does say, "Well, this is amazing."
As you say, this is amazing, and you're looking about, you hear, it is, isn't it? And at the end of one of the corners as you turn, trying to find your way out, you see a silhouetted figure in full white, with the mask over its face and just two empty voids for eyes staring directly at you. And that's the end of your turn.
Oh no, I'm stuck in a maze with hot people.
The elemental, fully aware of where its quarry is, moves through the fucking earth and comes out. Like, just straight up walks in and walks out the other side of it. Like it wasn't even an issue. Actually, let's see if he gets back his Thunderous Strike as well. Nope. But he's going to make 2 strikes at the sun again. Fuck, he hits him again. Okay, only the once. As the sun is trying to run away, he gets entirely bludgeoned in the back of the head by the fucking Myrmidian, just in the back of the skull with a giant fucking stone maul. Oh, it's your go. What do you do?
Uh-oh, thoughts.
We hate having these.
I needed to know, Carls, that when Daz said that, then on her own Discord call said "hit the bitch" in response.
I can take instructions from Denise. Yeah, sure.
Not hearing any of the questions.
Listen, when Den tells me to do something, I just do it. I don't ask questions.
Fair. Fair.
I wouldn't have had the communication that certain things are illusions. Why is that 20 next to me?
What 20?
Oh, weird. Sorry. A movement marker has not disappeared on my screen, so now there's just a number 20 just next to me. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah. I'll back up. Is that my Earth Myrmidon there?
Yes, that is your
Back
Earth
them up.
Myrmidian.
Uh,
He came out of the earth next to you, charged that masked individual, and smacked him in the back of the head as they're trying to run away with a
actually,
hammer.
no, fuck that. That figure has no meaning to Parks, but someone is engaging with the party.
I would say from this angle, because essentially it's this way
was
and
going to be my next
down.
question.
You're not really going to be able to spot him from there. You'd have to like move towards the ledge to see him.
Did I see him moving that way?
The figure down below, not really. It's a bit difficult. It's again,
That's
this is like
fine. I will shoot the one
from where you are. You're about 60 foot up. It's in like
yeah,
it's
I'm
a bit
deliberately
high.
out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I will back up my Myrmidon and
Hello,
shoot
Raider.
the one that they are attacking.
Go ahead, make a shot.
I will also jump to this roof here.
Ooh, that hits. He is going to attempt to deflect the first one. He isn't going to block the whole thing, but he's going to try. 6 plus 3 is 9. Don't forget to roll your sneak attack as well, if you want to on that first one. You get him square in the back with it, and it just hurts like a hell. As you're there and you're on top of the roof, you're loading this crossbow. From down below you, the door just swings open, and out comes a vermin. This vermin has, again, this is for those who are curious, a 5 foot odd tall rat man. This man has 2 pairs of arms, one of which is holding a big stirring pot. He has an apron on, and with the other one, he is using a whisk to cook. He's to stir up something that he's holding with 2 different arms. While he's doing that, he is reading something in a book on a 4th arm that he's holding. He goes, "What's going on outside?" Looks at everything, looks up at the thing, just stirring still as he's looking up to you. "I didn't see shit." Goes back in.
Right
closes
answer,
the door.
mate.
Correct.
You just hear from
Remy
inside.
here.
You just hear from inside. "What's going on out there?" "Fuck all, don't ask."
Yep.
That's it.
Right
end of
answer, Master Splinter. Let's go.
If only. That one is currently out of action. Serenus, it's your turn.
Right.
The illusion in front of you is judging the state of the bodies, and it seems annoyed at the fact that the people who were coming to bring him riches are all smushed.
Hmm.
Hmm.
How is? Because I don't think we've heard in a while. How is Harshnaz looking at this current time after everything?
Confused. Very
Just
confused. For those who don't know
Um,
in the party, or who are just joined us from the raid, Harshnag is the frost giant who's currently feeble-minded and doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Right. Is he looking in our like which direction is Harshnag kind of looking at right now?
He's kind of just like looking between everyone as if he has no idea what to do or what is going on, and is honestly, sincerely, he's just confused.
Okay, I am going to spend another charge of my silent alarm on Harshnag again to try and coerce his attention towards our direction and hopefully see the illusion as best as I can.
Okay. You coax him to look towards you guys, and he does see the illusion. And as the illusion is there looking about, looks up towards Harshnag, who is now turned to look towards it. Shouldn't have even kept you, let's be fair. Well, the things you do for people that you work for. Who am I kidding and work with? And just goes back to looking at the bodies while Harshnag is there, still confused.
Honestly, I don't really think there's anything else I really think I can really do at this situation. I've tried to get his attention. He's not really doing anything, this kind of thing. I guess the only thing I'd say is how long has it been since, like just roughly, if I just look on like since we saw him when he was chained up and things like that. Like how long has it been, kind of since then, roughly? Would I know?
Do you just like mumble this out while you try to like look down towards like trying to like, can I see the hourglass from here? And you're like trying to like guess it.
Like kind of look at the sun, kind of like think of how long it's been, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like piece it
As you
together.
begin trying to piece it together, you just see a finger get raised by the illusion, who again like just begins looking at something on his wrist. About 5 minutes, I think, buddy. Don't know what you all think you're doing here, but you've got 5 minutes before I decide I'm done playing. He just begins dusting his hands from like non-existent things on his illusion.
Well, that's a great thing to do. If no one else kind of noticed that, I just say if there's any for the people who's around me, if there's anyone like I can see around me, like I think think we've got 5 minutes until things go real bad. And then I haven't really got anything else to do. I'll just kind of end my turn there.
Fair enough. For the sake of this, we have a great deal of players who are going to go. Aside from those who want to try and get up and try to attack the sun once more, is there anything anyone else would like to do with their turns right now?
Kika will stay where she is, but she will tell her little Fey companion to fly off over the buildings and is essentially scouting around, like following the queue to find the building that this leads to.
Okay, for the sake of ease, they'll basically make their way up here. The queue does go up here.
Yeah, and if like any of the other animals try to eat it, this thing probably is fine because it's actually got stats.
It's actually got stats, and should anything try to pick a fight, it's not a fight they're going to win. Understood.
Yes.
So that's that. Low. Anything?
Right.
No
I'm
is fine of an answer.
I'm probably going to regret this, but I want to play this off to see how it's going to run.
Okay.
Lo is basically going to play off Destiny's sort of impatience a little bit and just sort of go, my God, you can't get the staff these days. I mean, your assistants, they just ran through here dragging Harshnag on the leash, just not paying attention at all. I mean, can anyone vouch for me here with that? And he looks to the rest of the queue, who obviously are under a zone of truth, so they have to specifically say what specifically happened.
And they all just begin like mumbling, but it's more of like the mumble of stuff's going on. Rather, they're trying not to talk in case it messes up their smile, but they all kind of like mumble through gritted teeth through the gay spell and just like and as you're there, it's like Destiny just like, oh no, the staff is wonderful. The staff is wonderful. My problem is I have a rat problem. No, sorry. Rat isn't the right term. Hero problem. I've got a hero problem. And what I love with heroes is they always come in and think nobody's noticed them. People have been noticing you kids.
I mean, we're not heroes, we're just tourists.
My lad dropped the act. You're talking to the con man here. Not a con man, the con man.
I know. I mean, you're
I
the
get the
one
hustle.
who's. I mean, you're the one who's trying to run the happiest place in the world. I mean, this doesn't actually give the best impression. I mean, dead bodies everywhere. I'm with you on that.
You're talking. There's going to be another one. At the end of that, as you back and forth, Widdick, does Widdick just move up and try to smash?
Yeah, Wittig will just smash.
Okay. On the back of his dog, he definitely gets his way up there.
I'll just roll a couple of hits, just get it done.
Get her done.
Smash and a smash.
He is still alive, but you do smack him.
Runara. Is there any way for Runara to get within visible range of the sun?
I guess you could make your way up the hill potentially.
I don't know if the map is a bit like, are we following the lines of the map, or are we?
We're not really truly in a lot of like focus of this right now. It's more like just for flavor. So you can go ahead. What would you like to do?
If I can get to within visible range of the sun, I'm going to command him to drop the axe.
Okay.
Assuming he's still got the axe in his hand. If it's not, I'll do something different.
It's on his back. So
Okay,
you'd ask him to basically
then
drop
it'll be very vague. I won't do that then. I'll just spin the hammer, fucking yeet at him.
Okay, you launch that hammer.
I've lost my character sheet now. What I'll do is I'll do a third level healing word on myself first, just so I can power up.
As you cast a healing spell, The spell would heal for nothing because you're at full health.
I'm not full health
But
though.
oh, are you not?
No, I took psychic damage.
Oh, that's correct. You heal for 0.
Oh.
And the creature, he looks towards you, and his eye goes into a void again. And you take 18 points of psychic damage. Actually, no, this is force damage, excuse me. 18 points of force damage. As you attempt to do this, and the magic instead goes straight into him, and then he launches it back at you. For the sake of curiosity, that was not a spell.
Okay. So I don't power up hammer at all.
You don't power up the hammer.
Cool. Then I'll yeet it.
Okay, smack him in the head.
So not
That
advantage.
hits.
It'll be that plus on that. But that won't radiant doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he is immune to the radiant, and it just smacks him into the face.
Yeah.
The mask cracks off to one of the sides there, and you can just see like that tiefling face underneath it, and just begins grinning out towards you. The nose has been entirely cut off, and it's just like that bare exposed like nostrils to the front of the mouth.
And as the hammer comes back, I'll be like, oh fuck! I'll just duck out the way of it and just watch it jam into the rock behind me, and it's
You're like, ah, shit! Still getting
just-
used to it.
and then I'll just try and pull the hammer out of the rock. Like, just
There's a moment of comedy as you're not as strong, like super. Yeah. At the end of that, and at initiative 10, he looks about. I'm just being thing. No, I'd have to. I'd have to drop concentration to do that. I want. How about this, kids? Come right on in. In fact, I'm telling you, come right in. And at this point, King, you, looking towards that entity inside in the maze, begins trying to talk to you, and you get pulled, dragged straight out of the maze, and you land right back onto the ground. And as that happens, he casts antipathy, sympathy. And I need a wisdom saving throw from every player, please.
I would like to say as I come back in, before because I was probably going to say it the second my turn started, but I'll say the problem with being a maze architect is you often get lost in your work.
And as if the realm itself couldn't withstand your pun, you got yeeted out. I'm seeing a bunch of low rolls. I need a few more wisdom
Yeah, we're
saving throws,
rolling like
please.
shit.
oh, why do I talk while my mic's muted? If you're within 10 foot of Wittig, you get +3. Do we know if Wittig gets advantage on spell saves? I don't think he does, right?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Okay. So Wittig, and this was a wisdom save. You said that.
Yes.
Right there.
Bayerk succeeds, and is so far the only person who has.
Oof.
I get advantage. Wild.
I don't believe you do, Renan.
If this is a spell, I have advantage. So
Okay.
I have spell guard shield, which gives me
Yep.
advantage on spell
Which
saves,
it is, so you absolutely do.
and spell attacks against me have disadvantage. Oh.
Runara, you also succeed. So, with that, we're going to drop out of initiative. Not only because it's getting late,
Yes.
but as you're all there, he invites you in. All of you feel this compulsion within you, save Kaerk and Runara. You must make your way up to that manor house. The one that Wittig and Runara are right outside of. And Poe.
Did
Actually, Poe,
did she
I
get the plus?
need you to roll once more.
Did Poe get the +3?
Yes, still doesn't matter.
Okay.
Poe, I need you to roll again, actually, for a reason.
You'll never guess what number I rolled.
Hilariously, you still fail, but by 1 because of Wittick's effect. You have advantage because it's kind of hard to charm someone with your condition.
Is this a charm?
You cannot be charmed.
Yeah.
Everyone else about you, though,
Just
is
straight up.
compelled. Hold on a sec.
Oh wait, that was
because
a charm spell. I naturally have because of being an elf, I have some sort of thing against that. Not that it would have helped because the straight roll would have been 8.
You'd have advantage on spell saves anyway, being an
Yeah.
elf.
But it's only an 8, which still
Not
isn't
spell
good enough.
saves.
I think so, as an
No,
elf, right?
not
Charm
all
saves,
spells,
but
not as an
all
elf.
spells.
Charms is
That's
Really?
gnomes.
You're getting your races mixed up, Kay.
Oh, I've lost. I'm getting everything mixed up.
Lost in the sauce.
Also, counter charm.
You have to be actively doing that, which you were not. You were bantering back and forward. You have to be doing that ahead of schedule to interrupt it.
Wisdom save, sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Oops.
You also fail. So, Kika. Let's see. Creature, let's see. That's for, and sympathy is... Okay. So, you all feel compelled to make your way up towards the man. The illusion dissipates, and the figure who's at the top of the manor fighting against the Myrmidian basically disengages away, relocates his jaw, and runs into the manor house. The Myrmidian who is present looks for any instruction. Having none, just follows Poe. And essentially, when it has no instructions, will just protect Poe and party. Tanky little fucker's still going. You all make your way towards the manor, with dozens of people outside of it, all chanting for destiny, for destiny, for destiny, for destiny, holding gold and riches and baubles and everything that would matter for a greedy, egotistical bastard's life. And that's where we're going to end this session.
See you next week, guys.
I tried all. I tried.
Yeah.
Bye.
I down somebody.
Bye.